Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Another train derailment, this time a passenger train. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. Reports out of Pennsylvania describe it as a major Amtrak train derailment. Amtrak has confirmed the derailment of Northeast Region Train 188 north of Philadelphia. About 200 people were on the train. Some news agencies reporting as many as 50 people injured. These are aerial pictures from the scene. Several cars in front of the train going off the track, some overturning. Philadelphia's fire commissioner has called the accident a mass casualty incident. Former Congressman Patrick Murphy said on Twitter that he was aboard the train when it crashed, helping others. He said, "Pray for those injured." Stay with ValleyNewsLive.com for updates. Now, the owner of Fat Cats Antiques isn't happy with his next-door neighbor and who they attract to the neighborhood. His neighbor is the Gladys Ray Shelter on First Avenue South. Valley News Team's Krista Bain joins us after she looked into the neighborhood. Krista?
Mike, Steph, this sign sits in front of Fat Cat Antiques. It sends a bold message to the shelter that it has to go. The move comes at the same time Fat Cat Antiques and Vintage Vinyl closed. The operating license for owner Shannon Grinberg was not renewed in Fargo, and last night he was denied a license in Moorhead to operate. Both denials stemming from a misdemeanor theft conviction. Grinberg isn't talking, but we spoke to others in the neighborhood to see if there has been any concerns. The Gladys Ray Shelter is also used as a detox center. Neighbors I spoke with say they often find beer cans or other alcohol bottles laying around area yards. It is a more heavily patrolled area by police, though the neighbors I talked with say they've never directly had any issues with anyone coming and going from the shelter. An associate of Grinberg spoke up last night at Moorhead City Council to prove otherwise.
I've personally seen them pass out on the sidewalk. I've seen them get into fist fights in front of the store numerous times when I've been there helping. I have had to call the police, have had several incidents of indecent exposure.
If you're having an issue, instead of doing the sign, talk to somebody there, talk to your Chamber of Commerce, talk to City Hall, you know, go through the channels instead of being an idiot.
While in the neighborhood, people stopped to tell us they didn't like the sign, adding that Grinberg would yell at some of the residents. I did speak with police and any problems they deal with at the shelter, and since January 1st, they've responded to 343 calls, ranging from impaired people to overdoses and disturbances. Mike?
All right. Thanks, Krista. We also tried talking with someone at the Gladys Ray Shelter. They told us they have no comment regarding the sign and don't know why it was put up. A place where criminals can dump off stolen goods. That's how Moorhead City Attorney John Shockley characterized secondhand shops at last night's City Council meeting. Shockley today says he didn't remember saying that in that manner. Moorhead's Police Chief Dave Ebinger came to his defense and saying it was a hypothetical situation and a misrepresentation. Some people in the area are saying thrift stores and antique shops seem to not be that important or necessary to have around, but a little more encouragement from the city would be nice. Most of the secondhand shops that we talked to say they rely on donations to fill their shelves, and while some have dealt with stolen goods in the past, they believe the vast majority of items dropped off are fine. A Fargo motel's parking policy has some Fargo visitors last weekend upset and without a car. The couple say that their car was registered with Motel 6. They had a parking pass, but say Motel 6 misplaced their car registration form and wrongfully towed their vehicle. Motel 6 does have multiple signs posted saying their lot is for permit parking only. We've been told the crackdown on unregistered vehicles is to help deter crime around the motel. Midwest Towing says Motel 6 management double-checked their work by coming to the impound lot on Saturday.
Management was actually here on our property. They walked back there and there was no permits on the car. So we are not going to tow a car if we don't have to. We have other things we can be doing. After we started investigating, Motel 6 did take responsibility. The couple got a call today saying the company is going to reimburse them, including their $200 impound fee. A Grafton woman accused of locking 4 young children in a dog cage today pleaded not guilty to the charges against her. 23-year-old Jordan Nelson is facing 4 counts of felony abuse and neglect of a child and felonious restraint. Walsh County prosecutors say Nelson locked the kids in a cage in the basement of a home she shares with the children's biological mother.
The children told investigators they were placed in a cage as punishment. One child told police that Nelson forced her brother to eat dog food until he got sick. A jury trial has been scheduled for September 29th. Now, if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work exposing the truth.
A 1% city sales tax that was going to expire this summer in Hillsborough is being extended. A large majority of those who cast votes today were in favor of the move, 116 yes, 23 no. The tax was first approved in 2002 to help finance an events center. The money raised, which is about $160,000 last year, will now be used to pay off the city debt or curb future utility rate increases. People in the Perham-Dent Public School District have turned down a referendum totaling almost $60 million. 1,771 were for it, but 2,273 were against it. The money would be used to build a new high school as well as an addition and renovations to other schools.
It's Tuesday and time for our weekly restaurant report card. It's where we pull the most recent health inspections to see which eateries have a clean slate or a dirty plate.
Valley News Team's Christina Craig pays a visit to East Grand Forks and Crookston restaurants, which have racked up a laundry list of violations.
In an effort to keep you safe, health inspectors regularly check food establishments to make sure everything is up to code. Our first stop is the Irishman's Pub along South Main Street. Let's check it out. In the most recent inspection, they were slapped with 14 violations, 5 critical. Among the severe, soup was not cooled at the proper temperature, and the salad bar wasn't holding the proper temperature.
Yeah, and we put a new salad bar in since the fire, and that again is getting used to adjusting and getting everything the right. So it's not too cold, so you're freezing your vegetables.
Since the inspection, all violations were fixed. The progress comes after 14 months of repairs due to fire damage. Irishman Shanty reopened its doors in mid-February. Next up is Dairy Queen along University Avenue in Crookston. It was cited the most violations, 21, 5 critical, which included the kitchen lacking a mop sink and lemonade being stored in the ice bin, which can cause cross-contamination. We reached out to management. They didn't want to comment on camera, but told me all of the problems were fixed. We also paid a visit to El Azteca in East Grand Forks. It was tagged for 14 offenses, 5 severe violations. Some include staff not washing their hands after working with dirty dishes and salsa being stored on the floor of the walk-in cooler. We reached out to management several times and have heard no response. Christina Craig, Valley News Live.
We were unable to find a restaurant deserving of our Clean Plate Award. If you'd like to see the full list of offenders in Crookston and East Grand Forks, visit our website at valleynewslive.com.